Just saying. Good morning. Kathleen, good morning. Air E all, good morning. Vicky, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Happy Friday. From our house to yours. Happy Friday. Happy, happy, happy Friday. 5 more weeks of winter. Well, that's what they're saying, Jalou. 5 more weeks, but I don't know. It's not going to feel like winter here next week. According to the weatherman, and the weatherman is always right, it's going to be up in the upper 70s and 80s here next week. Jeff Brands, Microfloat, JFBR, Jeff Brands. Keep Zone AI announced an exclusive agreement for the reselling of counter underwater systems for drug smuggling and protecting offshore assets. Oh, good old Jeff Brands. We all like to laugh at Jeff Brands until it runs about 120%, and then everybody's kicking themselves. So be aware of Jeff Brands. It has a notorious reputation for running up, spiking up on the news, and then crashing right back down to where it started or below. So keep that in mind when you look at it. Let's see. JTAI just filed a 13D. Looks like some insider buying, some institutional buying perhaps. Dubai looks like a institutional buy on JTAI. They've had a couple of those in the last few days. Good morning. Temp there. This morning it is 34 degrees here in Central Florida. 34 degrees, and it's supposed to be in the upper 70s and even hit in the mid 80s this next week. And the weatherman says the cold weather after this weekend is done in Central Florida. And we know the weatherman's never wrong, right? We're gonna hold him to that. Walk, W-O-K. Let's see what that one's doing. Hitting the scanner, W-O-K. Work Med Technology Group. Looks like it just popped up a little bit. 20 cents. It popped up 20 cents out of nowhere and still climbing. W-O-K. W-O-K. Pretty sizable float, 103 million. but for some reason it's getting a nice little pop. Don't see any press releases or any SEC filings or anything. So trust the weather as much as we do Jeff Brands. That's very true. Good morning. 41 in Seattle. Carrie, good morning. Oh, excuse me. They do a reverse split recently, maybe. Don't see one. Extended hours, default theme, technical insights. Events, splits. I don't see any splits in its recent future. Look at that gap up, though. Good lordy. They had to have done a reverse split recently. They've done a reverse split here recently. Because that gap up is up to $500. So I know they've done a reverse split, but for some reason it's not showing up on my chart, which is kind of unusual. All right, well. Hopefully you're still following along on WOK. WOK, WorkMed Technologies. Let's see if that's going to bounce anymore. 1 for 100 on 12/29. I wonder why my chart's not showing that. Huh. It's not like E-Trade to leave those off of there, because I've got it set up to show them. So, yeah, low float. 1 for 100 split back on 12/29. So they've got a low float on that. They certainly do. Oh, let's see. ROIV is now up 15%. Just saying. ROIV had a press release out this morning. They had positive phase 2 clinical trial results, but they also put out their financials at the same time, and their financials weren't good. So it really suppressed the good news. And it was sitting around $23. And it's just been very slowly creeping its way up slowly since 7 o'clock this morning. Nothing dramatic, nothing huge, but it's slowly creeping its way up on very low volume, I might add. There's only 37,000 shares traded on it, so it's not getting a lot of attention, but it is slowly creeping up. CMND Microfloat enters into a development agreement to advance intranasal formulation for its proprietary non-hallucinogenic neuroplastogen MEAI. That's on CMND. It's a microfloat. PLRZ, also microfloat. Polyrysin signs an agreement to develop intranasal proprietary non-hallucinogenic. They got the same press release on that one. PLRZ. So I'm a little curious. So it's an agreement between PLRZ and CMND, both microfloats. There's an agreement there to develop this product. Now, CMND is going up on that news. PLRZ is not. The CMND, hopefully you guys went and looked at it when I said microfloat. That should perk your ears up a little bit. So let's go take a look at CMND and see where it's run up to here. Let's look at it on the 5-minute. Looks like we jumped from 154 to 219 on that immediately there. It took a little while to take off, to be honest. It wasn't moving when I read it off to you, but it spiked pretty quick afterwards. So we'll keep an eye on it and see if that news is going to continue to push it up. According to scans, it has 116,000 public float. That seems pretty low. Always very skeptical when I see a float listed at that level. So do your own due diligence, look up a couple different sources, see what you think the float is based on a few different sources, not just one. And then we'll watch it together and see if it's going to rip on that press release. So far, it's not doing much. Not a lot of volume on it yet. 239,000 shares. It's getting pulled down just a little bit, under $2. And we'll keep an eye here and see where it goes. It's the pullback that we're interested in. That's what gets my attention, is that nice pullback. All right, here's the 8 o'clock stuff. Let's see what we have in store. FFAI, participate in a Wolf Research Auto Tech, and Semiconductor Conference. That's junk. SMTK announced a significant reduction in accounts payable through debt conversion agreement. SMTK, 4 million public float. BTBT reports their monthly Ethereum treasury and staking metrics for 2026. That's kind of fluffy news. Holo, HOLO, Microcloud Hologram develops GHZ state and W state transmission scheme based on the Brownian state quantum channel. Seems pretty techy to me. So I'm not too interested in that one. I am interested in, however, in CMND. Finley James, 181 to 202 on CMND. Nice trade. RDIB. $15 stock here bouncing around. CMND, it's got my attention. 203, 204. Let's take the out. 183 to 201. 183 to 201 on CMND. Not going to retire off of that trade, but I can get myself a cup of coffee. Oh, let's see. Rhino, 177 to 203. Twin, 174 to 202. Merrill, good morning. I am doing great. Texas in 43. Ooh, cold, cold, cold. 34 here in Central Florida. 34 degrees. Well, we didn't get rich off of CMND. It may go higher, but I wanted quick in and quick out because I'm not trusting these stocks today. I'm not trusting any of them. One of many. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Wayne, got a good trade on PLRZ from a while back. Good deal. Let's see. SCMND. Hollywood, 179 to 193. Good quick in and out. Quick in and out. These things are not to be trusted today. I haven't trusted any of them all week. It's been one of those weeks. And we haven't had a lot of really great press releases all week, to be honest. It's been really unusually slow for press releases. I think we've had one, maybe two micro floats that really bumped up nice for us, offered a couple of good trades, but just really haven't had a whole lot. Now let's go take a look at Wheeler again. Wheeler was another good trade for us this morning. I don't know if you guys caught Wheeler early this morning. Popped up in after hours last night. That's what got our attention on that stock. And this morning it ran from $2.46 to $3.40, and then pulled back down. Now it's trying to go back up again. It's back to 320. SMTK, the one that announced significant reduction in their accounts payable, which is good. Let's take a look at that one. SMTK. Well, what do you know? Look at what that press release did. For those of you that went and looked at that when I mentioned it, so far, it's gone from 47 cents to 66 cents, 66.9, so almost 67. Wheeler, Byron got 3 to 320. Second go round on that. Now that SMTK, that's the one, it had a 4 million public float, if you remember. So not a bad float. That's pretty good. It's up about 25% right now, 26. Let's see if it wants to take a run at 75 cents here. Boy, they're all struggling this morning. We're blaming everything on Bitcoin, just so you know. Everything that goes wrong today, it's all Bitcoin's fault. You have a bad trade, it's Bitcoin's fault. You stub your toe this morning, it's Bitcoin's fault. You spill your coffee, it's because of Bitcoin. Amber, good morning. SMTK, are you going to pop and hit that 70, 64? Level 2 doesn't look too overly heavy and crowded, but it got a lot of people selling into the bid. I see the bid prices hitting the order book pretty heavy. We've got people selling into the bid, which is never good. But when they got to get out, they got to get out. 66. It's up 32% now. Yeah, we haven't been able to bring out our 100% runner hat all week. I want to bring out my 100% runner hat here. And we just haven't had one of those kind of press releases all week long. And it's Bitcoin's fault. Wheeler, 301 to 317. Nicely done. Adam, 297 to 319. Second go around on that stock. People are scalping it. That's the way you got to play them. Whatever it takes, man, to lock in a little bit of profit. Fern Meadow, good morning. Remember, this is going to be our last day of going live on TikTok for a while. We'll be on YouTube, same time. But today's going to be the last morning for us here on TikTok going live. So we hope that you can join us on YouTube. We hope. We're hoping that you can join us over there on Traveling Trade Adventures. That's where you find us on YouTube. Traveling Trade Adventures. Yeah, and it's Bitcoin's fault. We're leaving TikTok because of Bitcoin. Oh, Jay mentioned it. What did Jay mention last night? That today was the last day? Saved. You can still get us saved over on YouTube. We're going to be live on YouTube, just like we are on TikTok right now. We're live over on YouTube right now. Damon, CCHH got 57 to 62. Good trade. Good quick in and out. You can get us on YouTube. You don't have to miss out on those 8 o'clock press releases or the 8:30 press releases or the 9 o'clock press releases. You can catch them over there. Ron just joined us on YouTube. Good deal. Thank you. Thank you for hitting the subscribe button too on YouTube. Appreciate that very much. And watching my latest video on YouTube on Traveling Trade Adventures, also very much appreciated. Comment. The more comments you leave, the better. Comment. Even if you don't like the video, watch it anyway. I'll be starting here on Traveling Trade Adventures on YouTube at 7:45. We start on Zoom at 6:45. We put the scanner up. The pre-market scanner goes up on Zoom at 4 a.m. for all those early birds that want to see what's running in early pre-market. We've got our scanner up for that at 4. But I don't go live till 6:45. And then I go live on YouTube at 7:45. SMTK now up 35%. Getting ready to smack 70 cents from the looks of things. Alan, good morning. Thank you for subscribing. Doesn't cost a dime to subscribe on YouTube. Hitting subscribe on YouTube is just like hitting follow on TikTok. It's the same thing. SMTK, watching that on the scanner right now on Zoom, and hopefully it's going to hit 70. There it is, 70 cents, 71 cents. Boom, up 42% now on that press release. You guys should be doing pretty good on that one. Oh my gosh. Well, I thought for sure we would get us at least something here at 7:15 or 8:15. THAR put out a press release. Theramune Incorporated, but it's fluffy. They appoint Mark Wendland as chairman of the board and name Angela Radkowski as the new chief operating officer. Kind of fluffy news. That kind of news doesn't ever push a stock anywhere. Simon, good morning. Atomic Wax 62 to 71. Nice. Little base hits. I preach that all the time. Not every stock you get into has to be a home run. It doesn't have to be a grand slam home run on every trade. Be happy with a base hit. I always use the baseball analogy for all you baseball fans. Base hits are what win the game. And if you're a baseball fan, you know that. Base hits, in the long run, that's what's going to get you there. So be happy with those little small trades. They add up. Over time, those little ones add up. It's nice to get one of those big ones every once in a while and really knock it out of the park. Those are nice, and they'll come eventually. When you least expect it, you'll hit one. But your day-to-day trading routine, the mindset, base hit. If I can get a double, if I can get a triple, great, but I'm happy with those little base hits. You got to get into that frame of mind because they do add up over time in a big way. WTO just announced a reverse stock split, FYI. And that's a micro float, or it's listed as a micro float. Now, I don't know how they're going to manage that. Today announced that share consolidation involving consolidation of every 5 Class A shares into 1 Class A share. So it looks like a 1 for 5. This is on their Class A shares. Okay. Just subscribed on YouTube. Yeah, thank you, Scott. I appreciate it. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you for subscribing and watching the videos over there. Commenting on the videos. That helps a lot with the algorithms. From everything that I've read, I'm not a big YouTuber. I don't know doodly squat about YouTube, really. But from everything I'm reading, the algorithms on how it decides who it's going to push the videos out to is based on engagement, which means comments. How many people watch the videos, how long they watch the videos, if they repeat watch the videos. It takes all that into consideration, and it'll take a video and push it out to a really small sample audience. And if that little sample audience, there's some engagement there. They're watching it longer than 30 seconds and they're commenting. It'll push it out to a little bit bigger audience. And if there's some engagement there and there's some view time there, then they'll push it out to a bigger audience, and so on and so on and so on until it reaches, a big, massive audience. So every little bit helps. Every little watch, every little comment, it all helps. ISPC achieves rapid procurement milestone for influenza research. ISPC. 9 million public float. ISPC. Wheeler, WHLR, files an 8K form. Microfloat. Another press release there. ISPC, the one I just gave you, that one's really bouncing around. TNMG, Tango, November, Mike, Golf, for all my military brothers and sisters. TNMG said they target EBITDA break even in 2026 and a positive EBITDA in 2027. So that's really good news. That means the company's doing better financially and they're starting to make some money and starting to show some profits. So that's good. I don't know if it's good enough that it's going to drive the price up on the stock or not, but I wanted you to be aware of it. Wheeler up 38%. CCHH, that was our early morning grab this morning. CCHH. This one ran up really nice in after hours last night. And again, got our attention in after hours and ran up to about 75 cents in after hours. Pulled back early this morning, pulled way down in early pre-market. In fact, it dropped all the way down to like 54 cents. And now it's starting that climb back up. Really hoping to see if I can get back into that mid 70 cent range. But it's starting to get some nice climb on it. Let's see, Maxim. MAXN. MAXN announces patent licensing agreement. So it bumped up a little bit on that. All right, Invax, Triton investment protection, nothing there. Wheeler. WLA data sets, collaboration. WALD. Baji Medical and Derm FX announced a collaboration in the what they call the Aloha program. Has to do something about the hyaluronic acid. Anyway, seems a bit on the fluffy side. All right. Okay. Well, that's going to be it for TikTok this morning. You guys pop on over to Traveling Trade Adventures on YouTube, and we'll give you the 8:30 press releases and the 9 o'clock press releases. That's where we're going to be at next week. So if you come back next week, Monday, wondering where's that Wolfpack guy at for those press releases, YouTube. Traveling Trade Adventures. I posted it on our TikTok about information on the profile, so you wouldn't forget the name of it. But that's where you need to go, and we'd love to have you over there and join us every morning. So God bless. Thank you very much. Thank you for hitting the follow button. We're going to continue posting content on TikTok. We're just not going to be going live. We're going to do that on YouTube. So you guys have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Stay warm, and God bless to each and every one of you. And I mean that. All right. Another big day on TikTok. 7 cents. All right. Now let's go look at CMND starting to curl back up. VAX, attracting investors, Reflex, and I'm saying WLD, Wheeler, Woke, CCHT, RDIB, Reading International, starting to punch up a little bit. It's an $18 stock. RDIB starting to punch up a little bit here. And thank you. Just shared the live. Awesome. Thank you. RDIB, I've got it on the screen right now. Looks like it really wants to break over 20. There's 20. 06, 2052, 2053, $21. Look at that. Just went up $3 since I told you it was going up, and now it's back down to where it started. Just that quick. That's how fast these stupid things are moving. Golly. Quick up and quick down. It's quick in and quick out for sure. Oh, it might continue to go. I don't know, but boy, that was quick. All right. We've got 1 minute to go. 8:30. For all the new people joining us, press releases come out in the market usually on the half hour. 7, 7:30, 8, 8:30, 9, 9:30. And so we try to make sure we're live on Zoom at 6:45 so we can get that first round of really nice press releases. And then every half hour, hopefully something new pops up for us that we can take action on. On a really good day, we might get one. Every one of those half hours, we get a really beaut that works out beautifully for us. Sometimes we don't get any. That's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. We can't control press releases. Let's see. EGH will continue, except from value-added tax. Releases hybrid quantum classical neural network classification. Symposium. Bath BBWI Bath and Body Works announces a cash dividend of 20 cents per share. SBEV, nothing there. Wheeler. Doesn't look like 830 is going to give us anything here so far. Not much popping up. I think I've gotten about 6 so far, 6 press releases, which is a typical Friday. Fridays are always slow. Fridays are always slow with news. There's always something running, but just speaking about news itself, Fridays historically are really slow. Companies don't put out a lot of press releases on Fridays. I've always kind of maintained that they don't like putting out good press releases on Fridays because the weekend kills the momentum. If it starts to get some momentum on that press release, the weekend just kind of screws it all up, and then they got to start over on Monday. But let's see, RVSN on that collaboration advances strategic collaboration with Israel Railways Cargo Division, RVSN, Rail Vision. But Fridays are always really slow. We rarely get anything really crazy good on Fridays. We have before. There's been a few Fridays where we were just swamped with amazing news, but it's so rare. Fridays are always kind of that day where it's like, oh, maybe I should have just slept in for pre-market. Slept in and had an extra cup of coffee. And thank you guys for hitting the subscribe button on Traveling Trade Adventures. I really do appreciate it very much. And watching that latest video I put up about the casino. Spent Friday through Monday at the casino for free because I boondocked in their parking lot. And they had electric hookups for RVs there, which I think is amazing for a casino to do that. 30 and 50 amp hookups. I thought that's brilliant. I just love that. Definitely going to go back there. But didn't cost anything to boondock there and use their electric. UPXI announces a 7.4 million registered direct offering with a single institutional investor. UPXI. Mine's 30. I use 30 amp service on mine. But so I stayed there over the weekend, did okay in the casino. But then Monday morning, I went live with the Wolfpack on Monday morning in the RV and traded. So I got to trade pre-market stocks in the parking lot, which I thought was really great. That's one of the beautiful things about online stock trading. If you've got a laptop and a Wi-Fi signal, you can trade anywhere. I've traded on the beach before. I have literally been on the beach in my chair with my laptop stock trading. It doesn't get any better than that. Didn't cost me a dime, Bob. They don't charge for hookup. And I actually won at the casino. So I was ahead at the casino itself. So I actually made, and then I made money in pre-market trading on top of it. So it was a freebie. Actually got to go spend the weekend at the casino for free, and I actually made money in the end. So that was cool. Yeah, I made money in the casino. Yep, I made money in the casino. They didn't get me. They usually do, but they didn't get me this past weekend. I hit big twice over the weekend. You're a Florida man. Yes, I am in Florida. Central Florida, Zephyr Hills, just out little northeast of Tampa by Wesley Chapel. Temperature's up now a little bit. It's 38 degrees. Steve, you have a great weekend. Oh my gosh. What do you play at the casino? I don't do any table games because I don't understand them. I tried blackjack once and I got my rear end handed to me really quick. So I don't play the table games. I usually do slots, and most of the time, I play a little bit of the slots, but I also do the video poker machines. That's that's where I seem to win more consistently is on those video poker machines. That's I seem to do pretty good on those. I have trouble with the table games. I don't understand. There's too many rules, too many table etiquette that you have to follow, and the rules of the game. You really have to study those games to understand them. And I'm just takes all the fun out of it for me. I'd rather just sit down at a slot machine and push the button and watch the pretty lights going off. And to me, it's just a lot of fun. I don't go there expecting to make money. You know, I go there for the fun of it. To me, it's like a big arcade room for adults. We all visited the arcades when we were kids and just loved it. And it was a blast to hang out in the arcade and play all those games. Casino's no different. It's just a big arcade for grown-ups. Sometimes you win money, sometimes you lose money. You know, when we were kids in the arcades, how much money did you win? You didn't win anything. You just were in there spending money in the arcade, and you were fine with that because it was the enjoyment of playing the game that you got out of that. That's what you were paying for, that enjoyment. And that's the same way for me with the slots. I just enjoy playing them. I think it's fun. Um, Sit down with a nice cool drink and just sit there, and I think it's a blast. So the casino loves when you play blackjack. Right. Yeah, that's probably true. In a game like blackjack, if you're at the table by yourself, it's probably different. But when you're at a blackjack table and the table's full of people, that game moves. They want it to, people at that table who are really good and really experienced and they're used to playing, they want the game to move along quickly. And I'm just not that quick. I have to study what I have and what the dealer's got and think about, okay, I want to hit. Do I want, and people get aggravated because the game's not moving along fast enough because there's a knucklehead down on the end that's taking too long. So I try to stay away from that. I don't like to be bothersome to anybody. So I sit in the slot machine, mind my own business. I enjoy it. Have you ever gotten a royal? Yeah, I've gotten a royal flush playing video poker before. I play the one that's called double double bonus poker. If you guys are familiar with those poker machines, it's called double double bonus poker. And I've hit a royal flush on once before. And totally out of the blue too. I held I held like a ace of clubs and the king of clubs and then redealt the rest of the hand and the rest of the hand redealt the royal flush and I was like, holy crap, that's pretty cool. It's only ever happened once though. It's only ever happened once. I get four aces a lot. I hit four aces quite often and that pays really well. Yeah, it was a hand payout. I wasn't doing max bet. So I think on that one, I think I did $2,000 because I wasn't doing max bet. So I think on that royal flush, I only made like 2 grand on it. Oh my gosh. Well, I guess they're going to make us wait. I'm still watching the press releases here, but I'm not seeing anything popping up new. So we'll see what 9 o'clock holds. Sometimes now at 8:45 we get press releases. Usually they're all class action lawsuits. For some odd reason, they wait till 8:45 to release those. I don't know why, but usually that's what it happens at 8:45. But we do get some, so we might get one here in the next 30 seconds. If not, we're going to have to wait till 9 o'clock probably. But I'll follow that up by saying it is Friday, and I don't have high hopes for 9 o'clock either, because Fridays are always slow. We'll see. We got to stay hopeful. We got to stay hopeful. Positive attitude. I never get negative about this stuff. LAES. Model advancements do not alter the quantum threat model. They reinforced the need for SEALS Q type of post-quantum secure infrastructure. That's the press release headline. That makes no sense to me at all. Recent developments in advanced enterprise AI systems, including Anthropic's release of Claude Opus 4.6, represents a significant evolution in large-scale classical artificial intelligence. Still sounds fluffy to me. I'm sure it's good news, but don't think it's the kind of news that's going to cause a stock price to go up. And that's what we're looking for. Oh my gosh. Well, 845 gave us that LAES press release that I just read off. That's, to me, is fluff. And 2 class action lawsuits. Which are total junk press releases. Well, I guess it's going to make us wait. Let's go back here and look at CCHH. Not doing anything. CMND. Not doing anything. SMTK. Trying to curl back up. Wheeler, nothing. ROIV, nothing. Woke, WOK, nothing. Boxel, BOXL, going sideways, not doing anything. Anybody got anything? LBTYB. LBTYB. Class B shares on Liberty Global. Let's see. Let's pull it up here on Class B shares, Liberty Global. Scans has it listed at 269 million. With 97% of that held by insiders. %0 short, obviously. But yeah, it's got listed at 269 million. Huge insider ownership on that one. Yeah, we still got 10 minutes. Byron, yes, insiders would be the company president, the CEO, the CFO, People within the company, yes. Chief financial officer, everybody in the company. And they have to register. They have to register those shares when they want to buy something. They have to go through a process. They can't just go to the open market, or they can, but they have to disclose that as well, because they're insiders, CEO, chairman of the board, those kind of things. They have inside information about the company. They know what's going on with the company, and so they're very tightly regulated on when they buy shares or sell shares. So it's a very, very good record keeping on who within the company owns shares or is selling shares. And it's all public information. Balmy 43 in Northport. It's about 39 here in Central Florida. Warming up a little bit. It was 34 this morning, so it's warmed up just a tad. Thank you for hitting the subscribe button on our new channel, watching the videos, especially the latest one that I just did on the casino. Appreciate that a lot. Leave your comments on the video. Troy, 32 in Central Illinois. You're not much colder than Florida, to be honest. We had a few days, the last few weeks, month, that it was warmer. On some days, it was warmer up north than it was here in Florida, which seems crazy to me. You see that very often. Got a shovel. Have a great weekend. You too, Vicky. Well, she's going slow this morning. We're going to keep our chins up here. Looks like CCHH. Been watching that one all morning long. That one is starting to make a little bit of a curl back up. Never did hit that 70. XXRP up 40%. XRPT 40%. All right, got a couple popping up here. Class action lawsuit. Stocks, steel industries this year. Nothing. Looking to try SMTK around 55. MTT. Doodly Squat. You're right. Darn good. There is Doodly Squat. Is that an official Is that a technical term? I think that's a stock trading technical term. Doodly squat. We're getting doodly squat this morning. We sure had a run through January, though, didn't we? Holy smokes. January was insane. We have to be sure to put that into perspective now. This week feels slow, but you have to remember the entire month of January was incredible, just stellar. I mean, it was really outstanding. January was beautiful, and we've gotten 1 week where it's not been that good. But if you compare that 1 week to what we've been going through in the last couple of months, it's not bad. We can get through this 1 week here. CCHH, look at that boom up, folks. Pow, right on up to 70. I'll take an entire month of insanely good runs on stocks, hundreds percentages, 400%, 500%, big massive runs on stocks. I'll take a whole month of that if I only have to suffer through a week of lackluster trading. That's fine with me. And we've got next week. Next week's a whole new week now. And whole new week of new possibilities, new potential. CC. Mark, did you play it early? They're early, Jeff. No, I did not, Mark. I did not play CCHH. CMND was the only one I played this morning. Elwood, you have a great weekend. So we've got a whole brand new week ahead of us next week with brand new opportunities, and I'm excited. I always come into Monday mornings excited and ready to go, fired up, coffee nice and hot, and ready to just go bananas on some stocks. I'm always excited about Monday mornings. Oh, SMTK. It's dry. It really didn't dry up except in the last 10 minutes. The volume has really started to decrease in the last 10 minutes. But prior to that, volume was pretty steady. Bull moving up, BULL. CCHH fixing the bust. Boy, it'd be nice for it to break over that 70 again and stay there. Kimster, take care. You too. Have a great weekend. CCCX. Quantum Quarter demonstrates GPS-free quantum timing solution. Oh, gosh, I want something good. 9 o'clock, come on. FGL, currently listed as a microfloat on scans. FGL is announcing a 1 for 100 reverse split. I don't believe that it's a microfloat. It's a 13-cent stock. You don't see 13-cent stocks with microfloats. So I don't think that's right. But they're going to do a 1 for 100 reverse split. Stable U.S. office vacancy. 2026. ANEB. ANEB announces their intention to voluntarily delist from NASDAQ and deregister with the SEC. ANEB. I would guess they're probably going over to the OTC market, would be my guess. So you can probably expect a little bit of a drop on that one today. Boy, FGL's dropping pretty quick on that 1 for 100 split news. FLYE. FLYE getting a push up all of a sudden. FLYE. Got an old line up there. Now we do have a couple of stocks that are coming off of a reverse split, and they'll start trading on the post-split adjusted numbers today. So you may or may not be able to buy them on your particular platform. But the two that are coming off of a reverse split this morning are PRFX and ASST. Boy, look at LIMN. Still trending up for the last couple of days. Look at that boom up in the last 3 minutes. That's pretty nice. Let's take a look at AS. Yeah, if you look at ASST, it shows that it's up 1900%. It's not really. When they split and the price goes up high, the percentage on the charts reflects that move. And so it shows it's up 1900, but it's not really. So you're saying bet the farm? No, definitely not. ADIL. Looks like there's three of them coming off the reverse split today. ADIL, ASST, and PRFX. Those three just went through reverse split and going to be trading this morning on the new adjusted split amount. So they're all going to have really low floats. So they're definitely potential for being able to move. But I think the general rule is kind of don't touch reverse split after it splits for about 3 or 4 days. I think most retail traders try to stay away from those. Now let's go look at Fly. Fly popped quick. I mean, it had a beautiful run up from about $5 all the way up to $8.50 in about 6 minutes, and then pulled back. After it hit that high, it pulled back. It's sitting at 644 right now. Look at this nice run up here. Nice view. Boom. Shot way up, and then the sell off. Under Armour, class action lawsuit, class action lawsuit, class action lawsuit, class action lawsuit. Good heavens. Class action lawsuits. Yeah, it could go up today, because of the new low float. Could get knocked into the dirt. I think if you look back on most stocks after they come off a reverse split, for about the first 3 or 4 days, they get just pounded right back down again. Every once in a while, you'll get one that goes up a little bit before it gets knocked back down. But most of them have a really bad habit of getting beat around pretty bad that first 3 or 4 days after the split. And the ones that seem to do well are the ones that the day of the reverse split, when it starts trading, if they put out a really good press release that morning. Because what happens is you now have a really small, usually micro float with good news, and it'll push it up. But that doesn't happen very often. Every once in a while, they'll put out a good one, a good press release on a reverse split the day of the reverse split, but it doesn't happen often. Most of the time, they get knocked down pretty bad. I usually just try to avoid staying in a reverse split. If I'm in a stock and I want to swing it maybe for a week, 2 weeks, and during that time they put out a notice that they're going to do a reverse split, I'm out. even if I'm maybe down a little bit on it. I just take the little bit of loss and get out of it. I've been through too many of those and watched too many of them to know that just doesn't work out real well. And you'll see arguments for that on both sides of the fence. You'll see people that love the holding through reverse split and say it's not a bad thing. Others swear that it's horrible. I'm on the horrible side of that argument. Byron, sometimes, most of the time when I decide to take a swing play, it's usually because of a press release. If I get a really good press release that I feel like might be a 2 or 3 day runner, I'll hold on to it for a couple of days and try to maximize that run on that press release. GLXY. Galaxy announces a $200 million share repurchase program. GLXY. Not really moving. I can remember a time when stock repurchase programs, when that kind of news came out, stocks would go crazy. But not so much anymore. Retail traders are getting a lot smarter. Fly trying to curl up. Yeah, I've never come out on. I've done 3 of them myself personally. Came out on top on 1 of them, and the other 2 were a disaster. And when I started doing the math after the fact, and I started doing the math on it, I realized it's not smart to hold through those. So I got lucky once, and that was it. And that was only because the company put out a good press release the morning that it started trading again on the new split adjusted amount. They put out a really good press release and it took off, and I did okay. But I've kind of over the years watched those, and without a good press release the day of, they get hurt. GLXY is up 15%, sitting at $19.36 right now on that $200 million share repurchase program. Jalou, 1870 to 1930. Hey, you was quick on that one. My goodness. Very quick on that one. LIM to 3 incoming. Let's see here. Safety plan. Growth. SRX launches. SRXH. a little 13 penny stock with a 16 million public float. SRXH. SRXH Health Solutions launches Event Horizon IQ, a public ledger of AI generated financial market instability signals. Sounds a bit techy, but okay. ATXG. ATXG. They just filed a Form 8K. Proposed strategic acquisition of offshore wealth management and integrated cross-border service business. It's on ATXG. 11 million public float. It's up 42% now. Not a terrible float at 11 million. Not bad. Just watch for the dip. If you like that news, watch for the dip. Don't FOMO. FOMO will get you. It will get you good. Yes, it will. Fly, LIMN, trying to get 230, struggling. CCHH, struggling. Boxel. Boxel really trying here. Last 10 minutes or so. 8 minutes. This thing's really been trying. ATXG up 45%. Let's pull it up and take a look. ATXG. That's what that one looks like. FOMO, fear of missing out. You see something starting to go up, and that panic sets in of, oh my gosh, I got to get this now because it's going up. And if I don't get it right now, I'm going to miss out on this beautiful run. And so you just blindly just jump into it, and then it goes straight down. So it's that fear of missing out. You can't fall into that trap. You have to really sit back and look at your trade, do some due diligence, watch the movement, watch the volume, watch the candle formations, see which direction this thing is trending, sit back and calmly look at the charts, look at level 2, and make a calm, rational decision about where your entry should be, and not just blindly panic buy because you see it moving. That'll get you more times than not. Sometimes you'll get lucky and buy in on FOMO and it'll work and it'll go in your favor, but most of the time it'll get you because you're not being rational about your buy-in. ATXG now up 50%, 51%. It's getting a nice climb as we approach market open, which is pretty cool. Be kind of neat if we get ATXG to run 100%. Don't think it will, but it'd be nice. We've only got about 8 minutes here till the market opens. I don't think we're going to get too much here between now and 9:30. Might get something that pops up right at 9:30. Sometimes they put press releases out right when the market opens, which is kind of brilliant on the company's part, to be honest. But yeah, we might get something right at 9:30. Oh my gosh. Well, I hope everybody has a great weekend this weekend. Really good weekend. Stay nice and warm. Turn on Netflix and enjoy your weekend. Unless you got to work. That sucks. How many of you have to work tomorrow, Saturday? Anybody working tomorrow? Dilly Squat week. Darn good. You have a great weekend, Hoser. Byron, just around the house. There you go. Pinky says, yes, but I love it. That's what matters. That's what Warren Buffett said. Find a job that you absolutely love, and you'll never work a day in your life. And I truly believe that. Don, you have a great weekend. 5 kids, you work every day. Yeah, I'll bet you do, man. 5 kids. I only had 3, but it was work. You put in your time, I tell you what. Boy, it sure is a blessing, though. Arnac Pipeline, Hypersilicate. First. Boy, look at that FGL. That's the one that was going through the reverse 1 for 100. It's down to 7 cents now. Oof, it's down 42%. Yeah, Ariel, I'm with you. I've had jobs that I loved, and I mean loved. I enjoyed going to work. And I never felt like it was work. I enjoyed it so much. It never felt stressful. And then I've had jobs on the other end of that spectrum, jobs that I hated. And I dreaded getting up in the morning. I dreaded that drive into work because you knew what was coming. I've had jobs like that and I hated it. I suffered through it. But you do what you got to do, right? You got to put food on the table. You do what you got to do. But I've had both ends of that, and I'll tell you, if you have passion about what you're doing, it doesn't feel like work because every step in the process you're excited about and you love it. That's how I am with stock trading. I love it. I'm so passionate about it and love it so much that it's never felt like a chore. I never regret getting up at 3:30 in the morning. I love it. I just love it. Eyes on G Wave. Super Mario, thank you. STKL on that form 8K. Where's it at now? It's at 30. It's up 32%. ERNA, ERNA, announces pricing of a $10.5 million public offering. Oof. Down 42%. I have a walkthrough and a closing today. That's exciting, Pinky. Awesome. Those closings are exciting, aren't they? Those are always nice. Be nice to have 2 or 3 of them a day. That'd be a lot of work, wouldn't it? Have enough on your plate where you're doing 2 a day, 3 a day. That'd be a lot of work. Just 1 a day would be sweet. ATXG dip. TIRX up 38% here. 39%. Little 13-cent stock. Rich, you have a great morning and a great weekend. I'll see everybody Monday morning. Traveling Trade Adventures. Remember, we're not going to be on TikTok on Monday morning. Right here only on YouTube. Traveling Trade Adventures. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching that last video that I just put up and maybe commenting on it. I do really, really appreciate that. Very, very much. If you want to say thank you for anything I've ever done for you, that's the way to do it. Watch those videos, comment. Wolf, WULF, conference call for their fourth quarter 2025 financials. It's moving up a little bit on that press release, believe it or not. All right, well, it's time for the market to open. And Yeah, there you go, Byron. Watch some of those videos over the weekend. There you go. Watch the one about the RV. Watch the one about the flea market, and maybe the one before that, and the one before that. Give you something to do over the weekend. ISPC. ISPC announces Milestone 2 system integration and marketplace activation complete. It's a 40-cent stock. It's up 16%. 9 million public float. So, and you can rewatch them, Byron. Don't hesitate. Even if you don't watch it, just turn it on your phone, get it going, and just put your phone down and go do whatever you got to do. The more watch time we get on them, the better they'll do. So, all right, I'm going to be out of here. Time for the weekend. Wolfpack, you guys have a great weekend. Traveling Trade Adventures, all of you have a great weekend as well. Stay safe. Unfortunately, this was not a stellar week. So this is your first week with us. My deepest apologies, but we're kind of a slave to the press releases, and we've caught a couple that have gone up here and there, but nothing like what we're used to. So let's hope next week things improve and we get some great press releases and everybody can make some really good bank on some stocks next week. I'm hopeful. I'm going to be fired up for Monday. I hope you guys are too. So have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay warm, and I will see everybody Monday morning. God bless.